I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. If you remember back to the SNL days, that was Daily Affirmations with Stuart Smalley. Yeah, I used to love that segment on SNL, and those were silly affirmations, and Stuart was just a very, very funny character. Super believer in normal daily affirmations and how positive those can be in terms of your impact on your life and your daily kind of get out the door and get the day started with a charge. We're going to give you some tools to augment and supplement your daily affirmations to boost your self-confidence. Stay tuned. Gosh darn it, people like you too, but you don't really know why people like you until you have better self-awareness. Our next graphic is going to give you some introduction to our methodology, which will shine some light on that subject. Outgoing folks and reserved folks. So when I talk about this outgoing personality style, these folks are fast-paced, involved, energetic, optimistic, positive, enthusiastic. Woo! Take the leg by the tail, just sling it around and throw it somewhere. When conflict comes along, however, though, they focus on talking things out. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Hey, can I help you? Can I help you? Hey, you good? You good? You good? You good? You good? And she wants to slap my hand away. And so if she's more a reserved person, she's going to be a little bit slower paced. Now, that doesn't mean she works slowly. That means just she's slow to act or get engaged because she wants to think things through before she speaks. So they're cautious folks, they're concerned, they're reluctant, critical thinkers, and always discerning. And when conflict comes along for them, they focus on thinking things through. Should I? Nope. But don't have all the facts yet. And that's their mentality. All right, so where are you on that scale of outgoing versus reserved? If you're outgoing, kind of remember that I'm towards the top of the screen. If you're reserved, you're more towards the bottom of the screen. We're going to divide you into people person, or if you're more of a task-oriented person. People-oriented folks are all about caring and sharing and relationships and emotions and feelings and friendships. They focus on the opinions of others and how they feel. So we tend to be pretty emotional, and I am very much a people-oriented person. I'm an emotional guy. I cried during the movie Frozen. Nobody does that, but I did because my daughter was there, and she's gonna have a boyfriend one day and get married. And she said, "Pull it together, Dad." Anyway, because she's more of a task-oriented person. She's all about procedure and function and forms and programs and processes and analytics. She focuses on getting things done at the end of the day. So now you're finding yourself on the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen, and you're on the left side or right side. So let's define a little bit about what each one of these quadrants mean. So we've got these outgoing, task-oriented people. We're going to call you high Ds or dominant styles. Never met a challenge you couldn't face, love to be in charge, take charge mentality. Then we've got our outgoing and people-oriented folks. Those are our inspiring styles. We're going to call you high Is. Just love influencing others, oozing charisma all the time, just like to be in around people. You're all about having fun. And then we have our supportive styles. Those are our reserved and people-oriented. Kind folks, make super friends. They're great listeners, give you the shirt off their back. They're just wonderful people and the glue of any organization. And then we have our high Cs, which are our reserved and task-oriented people. These folks are analytical. They are, think about accountants, lawyers, doctors, those kind of people who are just high-level thinkers. These people are the E.F. Hutton of the disc world. If you remember the old commercial, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. That's right, people listen. So C's don't really say a whole lot most times, but when they do, they've really thought through what they have to say, and it's usually like, pretty epic in terms of the results of that. Now, we're all a unique blend of these four traits. So we all have a little bit of D, a little bit of I, a little bit of S, and a little bit of C, some in more categories than others. I'm an IS. My I is really, really high, my S is really high, and then everything else kind of falls towards the bottom of the scale. S's and C's are confident, but it's a quiet confidence. You don't really see it or know about it or hear about it, but when they understand something, like for example, if a C understands accounting, man, they are super confident in that, but they're not going to go out there and go, "Hey, I'm a great accountant." They don't do that. That's not how they roll. So we can have self-confidence, but we just have to realize that D's and I's express it outwardly, and S's and C's express that inwardly. So about 40% of the population express that confidence in an outward way, about 60% of the population in an inward way. But let's break it down by D, I, S, and C. D's full of life, that's super outward, just oozing with confidence. They're big risk takers. They're not afraid to lose because they know eventually they're going to win. D's are bigger than life. I's like to bleh on camera. That's fun. So D's bigger than life, in your face, risk takers, get it done. I's are the most optimistic style. Their glass is more than half full all the time. It's overflowing, and they believe in everyone. They believe in everything. And so this makes them tremendously fun to be around and great to have in a group. If you want a group or team to have self-confidence, then having I's in there, that inspirational pep talk, we can do this, gang, let's go, let's go. They're great to have. S's have a quiet confidence when it comes to people and the relationships around them. They really need to hear from other people that they can be successful. So when we talk about the graph, I's and S's are extrinsically motivated. D's and C's intrinsically motivated. So my I's and S's on this side, they need to hear that public praise for the I's, quiet praise, personal praise for the S's. Those D's and C's, to make them feel good about themselves, they do it for themselves. Wait a minute, they don't need this whole rah-rah system, but I know a D doesn't need that to have self-confidence because they know that they're the kings. And the C's, they're confident in themselves because they know they're going to do their work 100% right all of the time. So extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation. C's, gosh, I love you guys, but you're hard to live with yourselves because you expect so much from everyone else around you. So you have this confidence that you're able to execute. And unfortunately, sometimes you see the world as glass half empty. You don't assign things to other people. You don't delegate when you're in authority because you know if you do it right, you do it right and you do it right and you do it right and do it right because you do it right. But the others around you can't quite do it as well as you do. They may be able to do it 99%. And so you have tremendous confidence in yourself. One of your weak spots, one of your blind spots that you need to work on is making sure that you transfer that self-confidence to others and make others feel like they can accomplish as much as you do. Now here's where the self-awareness piece comes in. Not everyone is going to be like a D that take the bull by the horns and not everyone's going to be like that. And not everyone should be like that. I don't believe in the mindset of you do you. I don't like that phrase very much because that means that, you do whatever you want to, whatever feels good. And, quite frankly, there are laws and there are truths out there, people that we've got to follow. But from the perspective of self-awareness, I think it's super hugely important that let's say as an S, I don't have to be a D. Success for me looks totally different than a D does. D's are about achievement and winning and trophies and awards and being the best of the best of the best. And as an S, are the people around me better off because I was there? But a D doesn't understand that mentality. They're just about individual success and effort. S's are about the we, not the me. So it's how is everyone doing around me? I define success totally different than a D does, different than an I does, different than a C does. So understanding yourself is huge in that you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else to have self-confidence. You need to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and that's what's important. So how do we know what defines success for us? How do we know how we're wired? How do we know what motivates us? The answer is take an assessment. I'm putting a link in the description below that links to our assessment page. We've got assessments for kids, adults, teens, ones that you can use for work environments, sales, all that kind of good stuff. I don't care which one you take, just take an assessment because it's going to change the way that you communicate. It's going to change the way that you think about other people. It's going to transform the way that you live in this crazy, wild world of D's and I's and S's and C's and kind of filtering out the noise. Get down there, take an assessment right now. You'll thank me for it later. See you on the next video.